Hi, I'm Linda Sparks and I'm here at the Farthingale's Needle Art Studio, and I'd like to share a bit of information with you about corset hardware. And when I say hardware, I'm talking about busks, bones, that kind of thing. So let's get started with busks. Busks were invented and developed in the 1830s and they enable you to get into and out of your corset alone without help. They go in the front of the corset and they're basically a clasp. So this is a basic corset busk. There's two sides. One has loops, one has knobs. The important thing to know is that the loops always go in the right-hand side of the corset. So on the right-hand side of the body of the person who's wearing the corset. So the loops go in the right hand, knobs go on the left-hand side, and one goes over the other. That's a basic opening busk. This is a diamond busk. There's little diamonds in the knobs of the busk. And so it's great for a bridal corset or an evening wear corset. And you can see here that one of the loops is behind the busk. And that just keeps the busk from coming apart when it's in a drawer or on a table. It's not that it's broken, it just secures it. But when you're wearing the busk in a corset, it will of course be over top of the knob. So we have the diamond busk. This is a black one. So you can see that there's a black finish to these corset loops. They're shiny black, so gunmetal. Again, it's just a design feature. They're as functional as any other busk. These ones are gold. This one's antique brass. And you can see that there's two loops closer to the bottom on this busk. When they're closer together, that's always the bottom of the busk. And you will always see that it will be at the bottom if this is in your right hand. That gives a little bit of extra support over your tummy, over your belly. So antique brass, gold, black, and diamond. And then of course just the regular busk. Now a very special busk is this one. I'm not sure how well you can see that, but if you look at these loops, they're engraved. So it's a very pretty busk. It's a much more expensive busk because it's had that process done to it. There's engraving of a pattern and then a paint was rubbed into that. So it's a very interesting feature, and historically many of the busks did have engraving on the loops. So again, you can see loops are in the right hand, knobs are on the left hand. Now just before I go further, busk should flex. It shouldn't bend, so I should be able to flex it. And if when I flex it, it stays bent, then it's not a very good busk. Because what's going to happen is when you wear the corset with the busk in it, the busk will stay bent after you sit down. But you do want it to be flexible because that's what allows it to flex over your tummy and around your chest. So the flexibility is important. Unless, of course, you're wanting something that's really straight. This is a wide busk. It's still flexible, but it's not as flexible as any of the other busks, partly because it's wider and partly because it's made of a different type of steel. Still, there are loops and knobs. Loops always go in the right-hand side, and knobs always go on the left. Without question, it's always the same. And again, I've just got one behind the busk here in order to hold it together as I'm demonstrating. So that's a wide busk. And when you'd use that is if you're working on a corset for a larger person that needs a lot of support. So a larger corset or a man's corset. This is a spoon busk, and you can see it's shaped like a spoon. Now, quite often when I'm at a trade show, people will pick this up and go, oh, it goes this way. It doesn't. The spoon, the bowl of the spoon, it goes around your stomach. So it curves around your stomach, hugging your stomach and tucking in at the bottom. And the handle of the spoon goes up between the breasts. So that's a spoon busk. And a spoon busk is historically accurate to the late 1800s. It's much more expensive because it's much more shaped. It is still flexible, but it is more rigid. And really, people are usually using it if they're doing a historic reproduction. Prior to the 1830s, busks did not open, but they did exist. They used to be a piece of wood, a piece of ivory, often engraved. Now you can use a wide bone. So that's a light bone. It's very flexible. This is a chrome steel bone. You can't drill a hole through it. You can't really bend it, but it's perfect for a non-opening busk for corsets prior to the 1830s. You can also use it in a contemporary corset as well. So that is it for busks. I'm Linda Sparks, and I hope you've learned something from this video today and will consider viewing some of the other videos that we're doing. I'm the owner of Farthingales here in Stratford, Ontario, Canada. We're an online store for corset making supplies, so you can find anything that we've used today on our website, and that's www.farthingalescorsetmakingsupplies.com. You can also find our product at Vogue Fabrics in Evanston, Illinois, and they also have a website, voguefabricsstore.com. So again, I hope you've enjoyed the video, I hope you've learned something, and I hope that you'll check in again. Thanks for watching.